Alrighty, here we go. Today, what I need you to do is we've got to be masters of mental math. We're going to take on the 10% trick. And I hate to even use the word trick because I don't want you to think of it a trick. It's well-sounded math and it's the correct way to do it. But as you become more and more automatic with it, boom, 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 you can do a lot of stuff in your head. You don't need a calculator to figure out a tip. Or to figure out how much a discount is. You just kind of do everything in terms of 10% and then you're good to go. So on this one, your learning target is I can calculate percent in my head. Okay, calculate. I'm going to abbreviate percent in my head. Also, I can estimate percent. These are the big skills that you are going to work on today. All right. So let's get ready. We get to do a lot of shopping today too, which is my favorite thing in the world to do. So let's get going, right? All right. I want you to start with your calculator and go ahead and remember we had said yesterday as we were translating and working on the algebraic equation for percent. When you see the word of, that implies multiplication. So I want you to take 10% of 78. Go. Write down the answer. Then take 10% of 2,476. And then take 10% times 3,689 and 37 hundredths. Yikes. And I want you to see if you notice some sort of pattern. What do you notice about your answers for each of these problems where we're calculating 10%? The first one, 7 8/10. The next one becomes 247 6/10. This last one is 368 937 thousandths. Ha! What happened here? Ding, 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 ding. Taking 10% of something is the same as multiplying by 1/10. And when you multiply by 1/10, and this power of 10 that's making it smaller, you are actually moving that decimal point, dividing by 10, moving it one place to the left. So once you notice that, you don't need a calculator. Are you kidding me? This is what it is. Boom. Do it in your head. All right. It's time for Christmas. So maybe you have a favorite fisherman or woman and you are going to go to Cabela's and be oh so kind as to get them some fancy schmancy fish finder. And so you look at this and it's normally $300, but you are going to work a deal. You have a coupon for 10% off. Yay. Do it in your head. What's 10% off? That means 10% times that $300. Well, move the decimal point in one spot. $30. Okay, my discount's $30. $270 would be the sale price. Cool. Let's do another one. You're going to get your hair cut. Actually, I haven't gone to Great Clips for a while, so I don't even know if it's still $14 for a haircut. But typically with a hairdresser, you tip them for the service provided. A 10% tip would simply be 10% of that $14 would be $1.40. Now, in this day and age, 10% isn't really standard anymore. A lot of places, for good service, you might do 20%. Well, if you can do 10%, you just have to double it to do 20%. That'd be $2.80. Kind of a standard tip often is 15%. So if you're looking at that and thinking, oh, well, I can't do 15% in my head because that's like multiplying by 1,500ths. That's a little hard. Yeah, but think of it this way. This is like a 10% plus a 5%. And you can do a 5% because when you do the 10% at $1.40, the 5% is just half as much, and half is kind of easy to do in your head. Oh, add those two together, $2.10. Sweet! Do it in your head. There we go. Let's say you're going to a fancy place to get your hair cut. Okay? This is where I go now. I go to Kohl's in Apple Valley. All right, a 10% tip on a $45 haircut, style, shampoo, all of that kind of stuff. 10%, $4.50. 20% tip, double that, $9. 15%, oh, I got to think a little bit. Let's see. That would take the 10% part, that's the $4.50, and add another 5%, which would be half again as much. So take half of the $4.50, and that tip would be $6.75. Who needs a calculator? Huh, not us. No way. All right. What about coupons? Here we go. I'm just loving this love shirt at Aeropostale, and it's $15, but I have this awesome coupon for 30% off. Now, maybe you can't do 30% in your head, but I know that you can do 10% in your head. 10% of $15 is $1.50. Cool. Now you can do 30% because that's just 3 times as much. So go times 3, $4.50. Boom. That's your discount. When you go up to pay for it, they'll take at the cash register $4.50 off the $15. So now you're down to $10.50. Sweet. What about 1%? Can you do 1% in your head? I'm telling you, you can, because 1% is simply 1/100th, or if you want to think of it as a fraction, 1/100th. And when you take 1/100th times something, that is dividing by 100 or moving 2 decimal places to the left. So when 10% was move it 1 place to the left, 1% is 2 places to the left. So therefore, boom, boom, 1% of $3,000 is $30. What's 1% of $980,000? Well, bring the decimal point 2 places into the left, and you'd get 9,800. Oh my gosh, this math I can do, and I can do it in my head. This is how us old people did it before we had calculators. You know, we had to do so many of these problems. We started to notice these patterns, and then we were able to just keep doing it in our head. Now, the reason I have you do this is because, and I hate use these tools, use these patterns or processes to estimate. Okay? If I'm just saying estimate 21%, don't grab your calculator. I want you to think, gosh, that's really close to 20%. 20% of 50 I can do because I can do 10% of 50. 10% of 50 is 5, so 20% of 50 is 10, approximately. Estimate 30% of 61. Okay, well, 30% I can do, no problem. 61, well, maybe you just want to say, that's about close to 60. I can do 10% of 60, that's about 6. So 30% should be 3 times as much, about 18. There you go. Okay. 5% of 41. Okay, now hold your horses. I can do 10%. I could probably do 10% of 41, but I'm going to even round this to 40, get that first, 4, and then say, well, 5% would be half as much. So therefore, take half of that. It should be about 2. Huh. See what I mean? It goes quickly. What about this guy? 24% of 48. Now, anytime I estimate, I'm going to do some rounding. And the minute I see this, I'm thinking, well, that's pretty close to 50. 24%, I don't want to use 0.24. You know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use 25%. Oh, because 25% is exactly 1/4. And in fact, in this case, dude, I'm going to leave it as 48 because you know what? I can take 1/4 of 48 in my head. That's about 12. There you go. Sweet. Let's take a look at some of these other ones now. Estimate what 48% of 30 is. Dude, this is really close to 50%. 50% is the same as half. Half of 30, 15. 52% of 10. This is really close to 50%. 50% is half. Half of 10, 5. Okay? Okay, now work with me here. 74% is really close to 75%. 75% is the same as 3/4. Okay? Now, 99, that doesn't work so well with fourths, but this is really close to 100. Okay? And what's 3/4 of 100? Well, what's a fourth of 100? That's a quarter, 25, and you got 3 of them? 75. Oh, okay. Talk through all of these situations. 25%, that's easy. That's a fourth. I don't have to estimate that part. The 39, yeah, that's kind of but that's really close to 40, and I can do a fourth of 40 in my head. This is what we're after. Okay? 33% out of 62. Hey, 33% out of, just think of it as 33% of 62. Now, do you want to use 30%? I suppose you could, do it 10% and then triple it. But you know what would even be a better estimate? This is really close to 33 1/3%, which is exactly 1/3. Sweet. 1/3 of, 62, that's really close to 60. My final answer should be close to 20. Go ahead and double check it for real with your calculator and see what you actually get with 33% of 62. You'll be really close to 20. Okay? That's what we're after. All right? I want you to start training your brain to do this estimating with these very common percentages. So, what I want you to do, in IXL, there are a few objectives that deal with percent. Specifically, one of them is about estimating percent, and that's what I want you to tackle. Alrighty? So in IXL, log in, 7th grade, L4, L7. All right? Good luck, and may the force be with you.